in a world where children are being exposed to, lots of information on sex, and a world where parents are, frustrated or just scared about what information is too much for them, are we actually doing what's best for them? Today we're going to be talking about teaching our children about sex. The right information, yeah? So please keep watching. Today's episode is brought to you by Ruby's Gift Store. It's a Christian store that provides resources to make teaching your children about God's Word much easier so that they're able to make the right decisions in life. They have children's Bibles, storybooks, puzzles, but also materials that parents can use to help them get grounded in the Word of God. Because, hey, you can't teach what you do not know, yeah? I particularly love the praying cards that have helped me cover my children in prayer. So please check them out at their recently opened new store on Loi Plaza Chisasi shop L03. They are open from Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But you can also order online on their website at www.rubysgiftstore.com. Get you and your children closer to God today. So on the channel today, I have the amazing Dr. Ruth Senyonyi. Guys, I'm super excited and humbled that she's here. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Introduce yourself, tell them about you.
I'm simply Ruth Senyonyi. I love the Lord. That's very important for me. I've been married for 38 years. I have 4 children, all grown up now, and 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yes, and professionally, I'm a teacher. I'm also a counselor. I'm a professional counselor and a director of Bethel Counseling and Consultancy Center, which is located in Nalia. So that's my trade. I retired from all the other work and now that's what I'm doing.
Amazing. You're helping so many people.
Yes, I think so.
You are. So guys, if you need any counseling services, you know where to go. So we're going to be talking about teaching our children about sex. So why is it important for us to talk about sexuality with the children?
These days we're talking so much about mental health, wellness, truth. And so when you want your child to be well for now and forever and for the future, you have to be able to teach them the right way to go. Just like God does. He teaches us this is the way to go. Walk in it. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So many parents are confused. They don't know exactly what they're supposed to do and say. So we want these children to develop a healthy attitude, a healthy mindset about love, about intimacy, about relating with other people, about sex, so that it is not skewed.
No.
Because there's so much skewing already.
Too much information that is not right.
So if they don't know, they will go skew. They will skew along that way. They will bend in that direction and they will not come out right. And they also have to learn about themselves, their bodies, what parts do, how they're supposed to take care of them, how they're supposed to think about intimacy. If I'm close to this girl in P4 and my feelings are
what does it mean?
What do I do? How do I handle that? How do I make sure that I am not impulsive? Whatever I think and feel, I just do.
Exactly.
And you see, with the generation these days, it's like parents want their children to have whatever they want. So they will go out there and meet boys and girls and want this and
get it. Because you feel something, just listen to your feelings. Do what makes you happy.
So we want to prevent that kind of thing so that we have a healthy balance.
Okay, so you talked about these body parts that that they need to be aware of, and I once had my 4-year-old asking, because we're doing shower time, and they were asking, "Mommy, how come Rain doesn't have a penis? Was it cut off?" It was so funny, but I was like, okay, he's aware of these features, that there's a difference. Now is the time to tell him about the differences. So what age do you think is the right time to start? Should we name these body parts by their names? Is it wrong? And just how do we approach it?
Learning about body parts is one of the things we do, because they all of a sudden realize, especially when they are either going to school or they get a sibling who is different from them, that opens their eyes. Or maybe they walk in one time and they find that you are not dressed or half asleep, and they realize that you have things that they don't have, or that are bigger than theirs. So that's a good time, because it's a teaching moment. It's like, they're asking something, or they've seen something, it's come to their realization, now it's time to talk about it. So you may say, boys who are like this and girls are like this. That's how God made them. But they don't have this long thing, and we call it this. You can name it anything. You can say penis, you can reduce the whole thing and say the susu thing, or that. I mean, it's really up to you what you want to call it. But the issue is the privacy.
Teaching them that it's private.
It is private. It is mine. Belongs to me. I should not let anybody do anything to it. Yes, and so important.
It's important, so as early as possible. And I remember there was a song, I got some resource to help me, and the song used to sing, "My private parts belong only to you." So if anyone asks to see them, tell them no, so tell them no, report as early as possible. I think it has really helped us on the journey. Okay, so when it comes to age, you've mentioned anytime. When should we start?
Anytime. They're really teaching moments, because a child at about, when they're starting to walk or talk, they may try to touch their private parts. And when they touch them, it is a nice feeling. But then some parents just beat them and refuse them until they're wondering, why aren't I allowed to touch myself? So sometimes you just kind of say, this is private. That's when the privacy still comes up. But gently, because each time you try to beat them, you push them into a corner, and they'll do it without your knowledge.
Because now they're questioning what is different about this.
Why am I feeling good when I touch myself? So that can be a journey that starts masturbation, which you don't want the child to do, because you are refusing them, and there is no reason why you are refusing them. And every time you see them touching themselves, you're beating them and making them feel so bad about themselves. We don't want them to feel bad about them, but we want to know that sexual feelings come. How am I supposed to handle them? So that's a progressive. There is no starting age. You just have to be watchful.
Be just watchful as things come on. So in that experience, in that example, because I realize also for the kids, when they're in diapers, they don't get to notice that they have those private parts until maybe you start potty training, and now it's accessible, and someone touches and they feel good about it. Parents do not know what to do. So practically, what can we do? Should we tell them, okay, don't touch that in public, or don't touch that at all, or just explain that this role is only to how do we actually practically go about it?
It depends also on what the child is doing with their body parts, because some of them are really erotic. They touch, and it's really, they stay there touching, and so in public they come and put their hand in there. That's a behavior that can be controlled. Saying no, we don't do that. That is a private. That's why I'm saying it's so important to talk about the privacy of this little part. We go to the toilet, this is what it does for that time. That's the only function for this private part. It is going to the toilet, it is doing susu. That's what they can understand, because they will not understand anything other than that, and implying that the privacy of it. So sometimes it's us who get ashamed. We are looking at this person touching their private part, and you're like, oh my goodness, and your mind runs.
Yeah.
What is this child doing and why are they doing like? So sometimes we have to bring our mind to where they are.
Because
at
they're
this
innocent.
point, they are not thinking about sex at all. Is this just a pleasurable thing and it's just their part? They are discovering. So sometimes let them discover and talk about it. You have discovered where it is. Okay, this is your susu. It is a nice little thing, but don't make it angry. Don't touch it all the time. So there's a way you can you can talk to them about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have children who are growing up, they're becoming maybe adolescents, and now body changes are happening. And I remember when I was growing up, I don't know why, maybe it's just me, but parents of those days, maybe mothers fear to start talking about these things, or about your breast, or about your period, or about whatever, and maybe they say, let's bring an auntie to talk to you. Why is it that maybe parents are not open with their children about these things, and how can we do it better in this generation?
With adolescents, some people have gone through adolescence as parents and they had a bad experience. Some of them have had children before they got married, some of them while they were teenagers, so they get into a panic. They're scared, they don't know what to tell their children because they don't have the moral authority. Okay. So each time they talk to their child, it's like, I didn't make it, I didn't manage this well, I'm not able to speak about it. So it's important for parents to know that it is their duty, whether they did well or they didn't do well, to talk about this, especially at that point of adolescence. What is happening to me? What is changing in me? Why is it changing? How am I, there are hormones that are coming and I'm attracted to the opposite sex. Sometimes I'm even attracted to the same sex. What am I supposed to do with that? Yes. So explaining from a biological point of view that this is happening to you, hormones are coming, it is fine. So we call it normalizing. It is a normal thing that's happening to you. When you are reading your books and all of a sudden you see the boy and you feel attracted to them, you can't read anymore, that is normal. But now how do I work that as me? How am I supposed to work through the self-control? I feel, but what am I supposed to do? So sometimes getting that right is the problem. Then when we grow older, like you see, I have 3 children that are married. There are things me as a mother, as a married person, parent to them, could not speak to them about the sexual act because of the, I call it the traditional, the way we have been brought up, that we don't speak to our children about those things. It's also protective because my husband and I are having sex. The children do not envision us doing that. So when we talk about them, they put us in that picture, which is not right. So we have extended family, extended support to be able to speak in depth about these things with them without the embarrassment, without the shame, without them putting us into that picture.
Okay, so that's the reason.
Because mothers-in-law were not allowed to even shake hands with their sons-in-law. Okay? Why? Because a relationship can actually build up. And you can jump into bed with your son-in-law. That is not allowed. So to prevent such things, they will say, let's bring the senga to come and speak to these children. It gives them a bit of a distance and respect for them.
So would you, in this now new generation, because we've had lots of people who maybe don't have relationships with singers, so it becomes a bit tricky for my singer to begin telling me about certain things where I would expect my mom to tell me, just tell me and prepare me for what's going to happen. So now when we're raising our children, would you advise mothers and fathers actually, because if I'm going to teach my boy child, there are things I do not understand about the male anatomy, that the husband would maybe do it better. Would you advise us to talk about it together as parents, or individually, separately, boys with a man? What do you think about that?
Well, you see, parents are parents, and it doesn't matter whether I'm the mother talking to the boy, father talking to the girl, but whatever is comfortable for you. Because there are some families where there is no mother, there is no father, maybe both of them are not there, or one parent. So you really can't put rules to it. They need the information. They need the truth. How it's passed on to them really is not a big issue. However, we want to equip the parent as much as possible to be able to give the truth, the right information at all times. So if I'm going to S1, that's even very far. If I'm 7 years old, I need to hear about menstruation.
Yes.
But does the parent know about menstruation? So we give a lot of information. Where is it coming from? You draw little parts and say it comes from this side, comes from this side, the egg comes down but at that time it's not supposed to meet as sperm. So all those can be explained. And then what happens if I do have sex? Because the way we sometimes portray sex in itself, we're like, it is horrible, it is bad, don't do it.
Don't.
And then, of course, when the child experiments, he finds that sex is very good. So what was
become a liar.
Yes, you are a liar. Mom was telling me sex is bad. So it's important to give that perspective that sex is good. It is beautiful, but it's for a time.
In a correct context.
In the right context. So that is taught by the parent. It doesn't matter, father, mother. You have to teach that. Now, the details about having sex when somebody is getting married is what I'm saying, that you may not be able to bring it out properly. So you might call in a professional counselor. Say, I need somebody to talk to my child about that. We also talk, as professionals, we also talk to young children, 7, 8, 9, 10, when they're starting menstruation. If you feel you can't handle it, you can still call in somebody to help you. Because we have different gifts. Some are very good at explaining, others are like, I cannot do that with my child. So you can be in their presence when the professional counselor is speaking, so that it is something you can do.
Okay, because you find lots of girls, you find teenage girls, a boy lies to them that just once, you'll not get pregnant. Yet they didn't get the information before that, please. Even if it's just once, you can get, this is what happens, you know. Okay, I like that. Now, I just want to follow on from what you had said earlier about following our feelings and saying, what you're feeling is normal, but what you do with the feeling is where the issue is. And I just want to ask, where is the place of God in teaching our children about feelings? Because, okay, let's say today I'm attracted to same sex. Do I just follow my feelings? How do we incorporate God in talking to our children?
As parents, we are teaching them that, I'm going to be here, but it may be for just a little while. I might leave, I might die, I might go abroad. So I want you to know that God is always present. So that is something that we have to keep, so that they are anchored. I usually have this picture of a ship being anchored by something, and that's God. He anchors us wherever we are, whether you're going to be in America, in Canada, in Kansanga, wherever you're going to be, God. So teaching them that God is always present for you becomes a very important part of the conversation. That you bring Him in. That when you're scared, God is there. Talk to Him. When you feel like the feelings are overwhelming me, talk to Him. He's able to take care of your emotions. He's able to take care of you. He's able to do that. So He's always there. Will hold my hand. Will keep me calm. I can talk to Him, and He can give me a message about what to do when I'm in the wilderness. Because sometimes as parents we think that, call me, I'll be around. You may not be around.
Teaching them what right and wrong is. In God's sight, because He is the one, like we've said, is the author of all these beautiful things, so that they are not confused by what the world is pushing onto them.
And there's so many perversions, so sometimes I use what I call it the manufacturer's instruction. It's like asking them, so who made you? God. Who made a television? Some Toshiba or somebody. Toshiba, when they make a television, they have instructions.
A manual.
And you follow it to to
the Lord, otherwise the
and if
remote
you
won't
don't,
work.
yeah, then something goes wrong. So God also has instructions, manufacturer's instructions.
Yeah.
This is the way to go. You don't have sex before you get married. When you get married, you don't have sex with anybody other than you. So you start teaching these things so that the manual is very clear. But then supposing I make a mistake,
Okay.
what happens? Go back to the manual and read what it says and go back. This is what God says. When you make a mistake, this is what I do. So we use that as an example that we have a manufacturer's manual.
Yeah.
God, go to him at every opportunity.
Yeah.
So those things that are perversions, masturbation, lesbianism, homosexuality, pornography, all those that come in, they will know it is a perversion. That's not the way to go. This is the way to go. But you talk about them. Have conversations at the table when they're old enough, when they ask questions, allow them to ask questions.
Yeah.
Mommy, because sometimes they are shy, so you can bring it up and say, today we are going to talk about pornography.
Yeah.
What do you know
about it?
And so they bring it out, and sometimes they won't say what they know. Say, okay, this is what is on the ground, this is what is out there, this is how you're supposed to deal with it. Because it's coming up on your tablet, it's coming up on your phone.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to control these emotions that come? How am I supposed to? I'm in the room alone, I'm in Canada alone, and I have this tablet, and everything is showing up.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? So teaching self-control is another thing, right from very young.
Yeah.
Do you know, when you go to a store, they put the sweets out there, very beautiful, and your child is like, I want a sweet. I want. So what do? You give them.
Some just give because they want.
Now, teaching self-control is like, I am not buying for you. You are not eating it before supper.
Yeah.
So all those are things that pull the child into self-control.
Even from different angles. Yes.
Not only in sexuality, but in their whole life.
Yeah.
So that when they get to this point of, I am 16 and there's a girl that I love and I want her, there is self-control.
Yeah. We have 6-year-olds who have tablets and access to Wi-Fi. Is there anything you'd have to say about, how we can deal with the digital age in regards to sex? Because they're exposing our children early, they're showing you the adverts, and then our children are exposed, they have phones and all these things. What would you love to say to parents, maybe in that regard?
Have limits and boundaries.
Yeah.
What they're allowed to watch, when they're allowed to be on their phone, because these are new things, but we have to have limits to them.
Boundaries.
So I have a phone, when am I allowed to use it? Maybe it's only 2 hours in a day that I'm allowed, which is okay. But some children have limitless time.
Yeah.
They have the phone, they can look at it in the car, at mealtime, in the night, at 3 a.m. So you need to have some boundaries over that.
And for me, some of the things I also do, yes, we have screen time for a limited time only. Steve and I first watch, if you want to have a movie, first watch it to know what's in there. Because in there you find that it's a nice cartoon, it's fun, but in there they have thrown a woman and a woman living together with a pet.
Yes.
The movie is about the pet, but it's a woman and a woman. They have just thrown it slowly. So you have to be alert as a parent and watch these things with them. Sometimes we are busy, we get tired, you're like, just go and watch TV, and then you go and do your things.
Yes.
Now you don't know what's happening.
It's like a pacifier.
Good for the moment, but what's the impact?
The impact, by the way, parents don't realize that the impact, especially in this area we are talking about of sexuality, is really, really huge. Because what the television and all these people are doing, they are normalizing all these skewed relationships and making it look like it's
okay. Yeah.
So by the time they get there, it's like, I saw that all my life, and it's normal. So you as parents also have to be
vigilant,
good role models. What are you displaying about intimacy, about love, about nakedness, about what are you displaying? How are you relating with other people? Because they are picking it up from you.
Yeah, that's so true. So there's another touchy subject on the matter. I did a poll on Instagram sometime. We're talking about childhood trauma, and So many ladies mentioned that they had been abused when they were younger. As a parent now, you get scared. You're like, what can I do to protect my children from being abused sexually? What are some of those things parents need to put in place or need to do to make sure that we are protecting our children?
Rape and defilement, because when they are young, it's defilement, is a big issue. I worked with an organization for quite some time dealing with defilement.
Yeah.
And actually, my daughter was young when I did that. And when I came home, I was like, I want to protect her. I saw everybody as potential danger. So it begins in the home. Where is the child sleeping? With who? Are they sleeping in the room? Who can access their room? Well, I'm talking about daughter, but protecting both. Yeah, and sometimes having the boys and the girls in the same room can also be dangerous. So separating rooms of girls and boys, and also sometimes we bring in relatives into our home or house girls, and then because we want them to take care of our children, we put them in the same room. And yet they themselves have either been abused,
they have issues.
So they bring all these issues to your child. I have very many cases where, there are girls that have been pushed into a little cupboard and things done to them, and then they are told not to tell their parents. So as parents, it's important to always be on the lookout. What is happening to my child? Always communicate. You're working, when you get back home, get into a conversation with your child.
What happened today?
What happened today? So they have a safe place to unravel everything that has happened. Were you scared? Is there at school what happened? Is there a teacher? Is there a person who's bullying you? Siblings sometimes bully themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
You also have to watch out for that. So a listening ear is the first one. Making sure where they are sleeping is safe. So when you go to sleep, check on them. Check on what is happening to my child. But also teach them safety. What happens when somebody comes into my room? What happens when somebody touches my private parts? Who do I tell? So that is important. The feedback for you is very important. So you follow up. I've had many instances where parents are told, they don't believe what their child is saying.
They don't listen to the children.
Or when they believe, they don't want to follow that up because it's their brother.
They are ashamed in some way.
So they just send away the brother.
And they've not dealt with.
They have not talked with the child about it and make sure she's safe. So you have angry children. I told my mother, she didn't protect me. She didn't take care of me. So that protection is very, very key. Not panic, not always saying, what happened? Why? What? No, but it's like making sure you are the overseer. You have her covered, you have him covered.
And I also want to emphasize building that relationship, because we have lots of parents who are just, I've taken you to school, I've given you food to eat, that's it. But so you find children are afraid to approach parents because they have not built that relationship with them, so they are scared. So I encourage parents out there, just communicate, with your children, listen to them, give them benefit of doubt. I know children have folly and they can lie, but honestly, something as alarming as that needs to be taken very seriously. So as we're talking about building relationships, we are here at Best Western Plus, the Athena Hotel. Build your relationship with your children, come take them out for a nice meal here. The restaurant is amazing at Bugolobi. You can just come check them out on Instagram. They also have a website, Best Western Plus, the Athena Hotel. So book your stay today and spend some quality time with your children. All right, so I think it has been such an informative topic. I've learned a lot, but Dr. Senyonyi, if you have anything you want parents to know out there, or people who have listened to this video, what are those top things they need to think about before as they go on the journey of teaching their children about sex?
Some parents have gone wrong already. Some of them, as young people, they didn't do very well. So sometimes they feel like they don't have that authority to speak about it. But I want to say it is very, very important to talk and teach. Maybe I should use teach, train children about sexuality. They want to get a big view of what this love, intimacy, sex, body parts, what it's all about. How do I feel sexually? I am attracted here. What should I do? They need that information. So give them the truth, the right information, and look at what the misinformation out there and correct them. Always. It's a journey that is forever. It doesn't stop. Even now, as I have big children, we still do that. We still talk.
Wow.
So talk and have a good relationship. The second thing is that this whole thing about sexuality does not come just by itself. You don't sit there and say, now I've talked about sexuality, now I've finished. It's engraved inside there. So we keep doing it. 1 year, 6 months, 1 year,
Day-to-day life.
It's a day-to-day thing. It doesn't end. And it's also important to know that children out there will have their own minds. Will have to think through things. So give them the opportunity to discuss with you. We call it a round table. Let them sit and ask questions. And why do you think that? Do I have to think like you? And then because you have the facts and you have God, so involve God in all these talks that we're talking about. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Let us know in the comment section, what things are you putting in place in your homes to protect your children or to teach them about sex? We want to learn from you. Don't forget to like this video, if you find some value in it, because it helps this video reach so many people. So the more likes we get on the video, the bigger chances of others watching it and finding lots of value. My name is Lisa Kusima, and I'm here to inspire.